What's up, Raider Nation? My name is Anthony Galavis, and oh boy, what a game! I don't mean that in a positive way. I didn't see this coming, says Pete Carroll. That's what he said in a news conference after a 41-24 loss to the Washington Commanders, who played without quarterback Jaden Daniels, running back Austin Eckler, and a few others. I didn't see this coming from Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. Raiders got a beat down today. Big time. I didn't see this coming. I don't understand for a minute. I didn't see this coming. You're on a short week. There's no excuse. You played on Monday night. Washington had more refs than the Raiders did. But nonetheless, this is the National Football League. You should be prepared for this type of game, especially a team that's decimated with injuries. You got to take advantage of that. Whereas your team is healthy, and the Raiders fell flat from the beginning. Special teams failed them. Offensive line failed them. The coaching staff failed them. I don't know how to put it. I put it out there. Is this team worse than last season, where the Raiders just won 4 games at least? I mean, there are no gimmies in this National Football League. You got the Bears coming in. Last I checked, they're up on the Cowboys. Who's to say they're not going to go on to lead the state and pull out a win there? It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Especially with the offensive line that the Raiders have. Can't make holes for Ashton Jeanty. I mentioned that, at this point, maybe he should just create. He did do a little creativity, but it wasn't enough. You have left tackle Colt Miller, left guard Dylan Parham, center Jordan Meredith, right guard Alex Kappa, right tackle Glaze. I mean, what happened to JPJ? So Carroll said that he played Kappa because on a short week, he figured things would be a little smoother. No, things are not a little smoother. Things just got a little bit worse. In fact, a lot worse. This is not a capable offensive line leading off with Colton Miller. You know what you're going to get for Colton Miller. But Parham, Meredith, Kappa, Glaze, you get a win with those. Those are the guys going to protect your quarterback, create lanes for your running back, Ashton Jeanty. And then you got Carroll, the offensive line coach, the son of Pete Carroll. You know what? I'm not big on nepotism, okay? I'm going to just say that right now. Really, I believe the Raiders, what they should do, I don't think they're going to do it anyways. Move Jackson Power Johnson to center and move Meredith to right guard. See how that works. Find somebody else for Parham. It's just embarrassing. Embarrassing on all fronts. Then you have I don't know where. I'm being all over the place because of, the way the Raiders are playing, like 24 points. The 14 points came in the fourth quarter. The game was already out of hand. Not active. You got tackle Grant, Rogers. I want to see those guys play. Because if those guys like Parham, Glaze are not going to show that they're going to improve, I want to see those rookies come in and play. You drafted them for a reason. Play them. Raheem Mostert, what's wrong with him? Man, going into the season, I felt optimistic about the Raiders' chances. I'm not saying that they're on a Super Bowl contenders. I figured they'll put up more than the 4 wins that they put last year. And right now, I'm not seeing that one bit. I didn't think that this is a playoff team by any means. I think it's going to take another year for them to get there. But I just feel like looking at what they have right now and the regression I'm seeing each week from the offensive line is just getting worse. I mean, there was a clip where you saw Philbin and Chip Kelly discussing when Parham decided he wanted to block somebody from Vegas. It leaves one guy wide open to go after Geno Smith. Who does that? Parham has no business being a starter in the National Football League. And then Philbin and Kelly just went like this. I mean, that's every fan's reaction. See that day to day, week to week. You can say you look great in practice, blah, 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 but when it comes to most games, it got to show for it. And it hasn't shown for the Raiders at 1-2. That game against the Patriots, all right, so what? But Patriots are 1-2 right now, too. So that game's not impressive. If they beat the Bears, that game's not impressive. Raiders need to show some. They need to show some heart. There's no heart in there on that team. Max Crosby needs to get this team together and just wreak havoc. Offensively, who's going to be that leader? I can't see Geno Smith being that leader. Somebody needs to speak up and say, guys, we need to get this thing going now. Because I'm saying right now, next Sunday is a must win. Because you cannot go to Indianapolis at 1-3. Because if you go 1-3, you might as well start Kenny Pickett. I mean, every Raider Nation is frustrated right now, coming off this embarrassing 41-24 loss. Obviously, I'm not in Vegas to ask the questions. I wish I was in Vegas to ask the questions, press them. And the question this week needs to be about the offensive line. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to... Carroll said the competition goes on. By this point, the competition should be over with, and you should have your starting five week to week. Instead of trying to figure out who's going to be the guys, who's going to be the ones we're going to count on each week. It's definitely not going to be Meredith at center. Not going to be Kappa. Kappa needs to be bench. JPJ needs to go back in. Move him back center. Move Meredith at right guard. Something that works. Put Rodgers instead of Parham. Something. Let's see what works. You start off maybe have Philbin be the guy to coach the offensive line instead of Brandon Carroll. But I don't think Pete Carroll's going to fire his own son. By the time he does, it'll be too late. Be like 1-6, 1-7. Pete Carroll says we're going to win many games. Honestly, I'm not seeing it right now. I don't think I'm going to see it. I don't think you guys are going to see it. Guess I'm preaching to the choir. It's really frustrating for you, Raider Nation. As a reporter, I see, I've seen the Raiders since, I've been following the Raiders since I was small. My family are big Raider fans. And back in 2000, everything was so fine and dandy. 2002, Super Bowl appearance, and ever since nothing. Then you got playoff appearances in 2016, 2021, and that's about it. And I see your guys' I see the Raider Nation determination. You guys are so loyal to this team. And you guys deserve better than this. This lopsided losses cannot happen. And I'm afraid to say it could happen another 2 weeks again when they go to the Indianapolis, face the Colts. Because they're looking good. They're putting up 30 points a week, and that's with Daniel Jones. I don't know, Raider Nation. Obviously you guys deserve to see wins. Something you guys can be proud of each and every week, or each day when you go to work. So I'm sure you got, friends making fun of your team, making fun of the Raiders, while their team keeps winning, whoever it is, Eagles, Chargers, Broncos, um, trying to think of who else, um, Bills, but the Raiders are in the competitive AFC West. And they're already 0-1 in AFC West after losing to the Chargers after bonehead plays, just head scratching plays. I'm not gonna yell or anything like that about what's wrong, whatever. I kind of did that earlier, but I try to keep it toned down. But I don't know. Pete Carroll was brought into the Raiders to turn this ship around, and so far it's been anything but that. Because, like I said, first of all, he takes credit for this loss. So I'm expecting a bounce back game next week from the Raiders from all three phases. Special teams needs to be a lot better. Everywhere needs to be a lot better. I mean, the plus of all this is still early in the season. Still got a lot of time to turn it around. But they need to reshape that offensive line minus Colton Miller at left tackle. And bring in JPJ at center or something. I don't think this Meredith experiment at center is working out. Just look what happened last week where he hiked it and just terrible. So I've gone on 11 minutes talking about this, or 12 minutes. I don't know what else to say. There's really not much to say. Just, this is a frustrating outcome for the Raiders. I thought coming into this game, even though I picked the Commanders to win this game, I thought the Raiders had a shot without Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota, he's been in the league for a number of years already, 10 years or something like that. So you figured the Raiders had a chance, especially without Eckler, a couple of defensive guys. But nope, they made things harder on themselves, shot themselves in the foot, allowed the Commanders to roll up 41 points on them, 41-24. Look at the stats real quick. The Raiders finished with 93 rushing yards. Action GP 17 carries for 63 yards. Longest run went for 18 yards. Raiders had no interceptions, no turnovers by the Raiders. Trying to think here. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I'm going to talk about, to be honest, because this game wasn't downright embarrassing for the Raiders. So, will they pull it around next week? We'll see. Will they reshape the O-line this week? We'll also see. Remember, Carroll said, competition goes on. Competition should have been over with at the end of training camp, but nope, they're trying to figure out things still. And we're going into week 3 next week. Excuse me, not week 3. Going into, you got week 4. Because there's other football teams are covering, so the weeks are kind of off. So, stat-wise, I think everything's even, but it's just the Raiders they're just inconsistent. So, it's up to the coaching staff to turn this thing around. Are they going to do it? But I'm just still like an hour after the game finished, still kind of surprised how I kind of feel like Pete Carroll in the sense that I didn't see this coming. I saw a more competitive game, but instead we saw a lopsided game. Due to special teams, offensive line, everywhere. So, anyways, just let me know what you guys are thinking about the Raiders. What do you guys want to see from this team moving forward, especially going against the Bears? They're injury too. They have some injured players too, like quarterback Jalen Johnson. There's opportunities for the Raiders, but it's up to them to turn this thing around. Because, enough said. You guys have a good day. We'll talk again later.